Hello everybody, and I've noticed that, well, everybody is doing something for YouTube Geek Week, so I decided that I would do something of my own. A top 10 video of my top 10 favorite video games of all time. Now keep in mind that these are my favorite video games of all time, not yours, so don't be mad if you don't see your fave on the list. Some of these things will most likely be on your list if you played the same systems and grew up in around the same area, in the same years, in the 90s, and blah, blah, blah. Also, I'm doing one game per franchise rule, the typical one that most people follow by. And as well as I had to play them. That's the two rules I'm basically going by. I had to play them in a little franchise. Also, these are the games I played before Friday, August the 9th, 2013. So, yeah. I played them before. I had to play them before this day, today. So, I may have a favorite that are around the world down the road, but yeah. And another thing to keep in mind, most of these games are are from when I was younger, so expect games from the 90s, zeros, and for the PS1. Most of this stuff I played when I was about that age, around 8 or 9, were for the PS1 and the Game Boy, so which isn't too surprising. It was on 6 when the Xbox and PS2 came out, but I was still playing the PS1 up until like 2004 when I got the PS2. So, and without further ado, let's begin the list. Number 10, Final Fantasy X for the PS2. Now some of you are thinking, wait, what? This is your favorite one? Well, I've only played 4 or 5 Final Fantasies, unfortunately. I played Final Fantasy 10 through 13, as well as 4. Yeah, I have not played number 7. I've heard that's the best one on the list, but I've also played 3 and 5, but I played, but my favorite ones were it was a tie between 4 and 10 for me, and I choose Final Fantasy X because, well, love interest. What can I say? I'm a sucker for the love interest things, and I thought it was really cool. Also, I like Aaron a lot. He's probably one of my favorite characters in the Final Fantasy universe, and I really did like him. Mostly because he had a giant sword and a cool-ass red cape, but then again, this is the first game I played that had a character that had with a big-ass sword. Now I see anime and stuff like that all the time with a big-ass sword, so this is the first person I saw with a big-ass sword, so this was kind of special for me. Number 9 is number 9 is Monster Ranchers 2 for the PS1. Now, you probably never even heard of this game before. If you have, you may not even played it. I mean, but this is a game that I played a lot, and I mean a lot. I really did enjoy this game. This is one of the few games that most of those lists will probably be for the PS1, but I really do like Monster Ranchers 2. Again, the last time I played was 8, so I don't really remember too much about it, but I do know that I loved it a lot, and I found it really cool that you can make your own monsters and train them and raise them to be like the very best. Kind of like Pokemon Trainer, but you can only have 1 or 2 at a time. Furthermore, but I found it so cool that you can like battle in tournaments and all that nonsense, so that was really fun for me. And we're going back to the one video game for franchise rule. I don't know if I like this order that it did. You know what? Screw it. Number 8, Soul Calibur 4 for the PS3. This is actually by far the newest game that I have on this list. But I do have to say that I really did enjoy this game. This is actually the first Soul Calibur that I played, which probably would explain why I like this game so much. But the reason why I like it more is because so many of the modes. You had so many different options, so many different modes. I think my favorite character, Yun Song, was at his best. Actually, no, this wasn't the first one I played, Soul Calibur 3, but I like this one better. But I really do like Soul Calibur 4 a lot, and I mean a lot. I played Soul Calibur 5 and just pretty much killed everything I loved about Soul Calibur, so... Oh well. Number 7, Fire Emblem. It's a Fire Emblem game. It's hard for me. Once again, it's one of the franchises that I love a lot, but it's kind of hard for me to choose between Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, Fire Emblem And Fire Emblem Raiden Dawn, the first Fire Emblem released in the U.S., and the newest one, Fire Emblem Awakening. But you guys probably can guess, since I already said Soul Calibur 4 was the newest game that I played. So Soul Calibur Awakening, Fire Emblem Awakening is definitely out. So it's done Radiant Dawn. The reason why I say Radiant Dawn, now some of you guys are gonna go say Bloody Murder, was once again this was the first game Fire Emblem that I played. Yeah, this is actually the first Fire Emblem game, and which is funny because now I look back and everyone says, "No, you shouldn't have played it." But this is the first one I played. Actually bought this game a little after I played Smash Brothers. Back when I was, think, 13. Yeah, no, 12, 13. Then I bought this like a few months later because I saw this guy with a big ass sword, and like guys with big ass swords, no homo. So I decided, you know what? He has a cape and a big ass sword. All right, let's play this game. And I really did love this game, despite the fact that everyone thinks it's the hardest of the series. But I don't care. I love it. I really do love it. So it's just kind of funny because if I knew it was a sequel to the previous one, I would not have bought it. I would have bought the GameCube one, but I didn't have the GameCube controller at the same time. So even if I did know, I probably would have just picked this one game anyway. And my Game Boy wasn't working at the time, and I didn't have anything to play, so this is the only option for me, honestly. So this is the only game I could play that was on the Fire Emblem series, so, you know, whatever. Number 6, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the Xbox. I say the Xbox because this is the only system that I played it on. But even though it's like, actually I played it at my friend's house when I was 8 or 10. I can't remember what how old I was when I played it, but I do remember loving the hell out of it, and I would always find excuses to come to my friend's house, but I only was friends with him for 3 months before he decided that I was too weird for him. But regardless of that, this game was pretty awesome nonetheless, and even though I only played it for 3 months, and it was still pretty awesome. But then again, I downloaded it for the PS3, honestly, so this baby right here, I downloaded it on there, and I played it a lot. So I'm not too disappointed, but I still love that game from the depths of my heart. It was such a good game. The even 3 months made me love it so much. Another PS1 thing that everyone won't be surprised that it's on this list, especially if you're from the area. We're born in the same years, the mid-90s, and played a bunch of PS1 games, is Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. Now, for the PS1. Now, people were saying that everyone's favorite one was the first one or the second one, but I like the third one the best. That's because I could play as Coco. And I don't know why, I just like playing as Coco so freaking much. I don't know why, I just did. And I really did like Crash Bandicoot. The whole entire idea of just spinning and being chased by things was just so awesome to me. I like the first one better than the second one, and I was considering putting the first one here, but honestly, I played the Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped for, like, ever. I played it for a good 3 weeks. Granted, it was only one of the 3 that I actually own, but I still loved the hell out of it and had so many good memories, and that's pretty much why. And it's definitely one of my favorite games that's not an RPG or a fighter. Actually, oh wait, I take that back. Number 4, Virtual Fighter 2 for the Sega Saturn. For a while, I actually owned a Sega Saturn for about a year or two, but then it got broken because, well, user error. But it's Virtual Fighter 2. This is also my favorite fighting game of all time. And my favorite, for those of you who don't know, my favorite genres are fighting and RPGs. And this is definitely this is not only the first fighter that I ever played, and the first one that got me into it. This is also the one that I just love the most. Plus, I have so many good memories of it. Not to mention a few memories of me actually playing with my dad. I mean, I rarely ever hang out with him, and the few times I did was playing a few video games, and this is one of the video games we played the most. So that's why I like this game so much. It really does. I wish I had a Sega Saturn so I can play this game again. I don't know if it's available for other systems. Please let me know if it is, but yeah. Number 3, Pokemon. Now I just have to figure out which Pokemon it is. Some of you who know me are actually kind of surprised that it's this low on the list. Granted, it's number 3, but people would think it would be number number two, well, actually number one, maybe even two, but most of the people, my friends and family would think it would be number one. Now, this is my favorite franchise of all time. Don't get me wrong, this is the favorite franchise of all time. But, and this is also the first, one of the first Pokemon was the first, stuff that's all, first Game Boy games I ever played, I think. But regardless, I still loved, Pokemon. But the only problem is that I can't pick out which game I like more, so that's... But if I had to choose, I have to go with the one I played the most, which is Leaf Green, or Leaf Green and Fire Red for the Game Boy Advance. I can't tell you how it started. With Leaf Green, I chose, part of my OCD wanted to choose, Bulbasaur, because, you know, of the whole entire, the thing that it's Leaf Green, the little Pokemon on the cover was Venusaur, so I thought I would have to play Venusaur. But I actually chose Squirtle, because, you know, I like Blastoise a lot. And Charizard's okay, but Blastoise is a boss. I mean, he has freaking water cannons on his back. Oh, so awesome. Just the fact that I can be able to choose him is just so awesome, even in its own self. So, yeah, that's a really great game. It has so many memories. I still remember the team like the back of my hand. Well, not the back of my hand, but you get the idea. I chose Vulpix. Is my fire type. It's my grass type. I think I chose Weepinbell. Yeah, I chose Weepinbell. Let's see, what else should I chose? I think I chose a Sparrow. Yeah, I had a Sparrow. For a while, I also had a, no. For a while, I also had an Ekans, but I got tired of that Pokemon, and I also got tired of Rattata, because, I don't know. Let's see, what else did I have? I also had a Dratini, which I never was able to develop into a Dragonite, but it was freaking awesome. What else did I chose? I can't remember. You know, it's kind of sad, but I can't remember. Probably because I played it over 500 times, but those are normally the Pokemon that I chose. I can't tell you how many times I played Leaf Green, but yeah. Let's go on to number 2. Now, this is the first video game I ever played, ever. And it's for the PS1, Spyro Year of the Dragon. Which I actually just did nostalgia, and I gave it an 8 out of 10, but that was me being biased. Unbiased. In reality, Spyro, I mean, it really got me into the whole entire gaming. If it weren't for how good Spyro is, I would probably have never gotten into gaming and ever, honestly. I mean, seriously, I really do love Spyro Year of the Dragon. I still played it. I was playing it up until the point where I made this video, honestly. So, I really do. Can't tell you how much I love this game. Crap, I'm not doing good on time, but oh well. Oh, number 2! Wait, no. I have to do number 1. Actually, let's do a recap first. But before we do the recap, let's do the notable mentions. They got games like liked, but not as much to put it on the list. Call of Duty MW2. Go ahead, hit me for it. Tasmanian Tiger, Rayman, Madden 01, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Tekken 5, Borderlands, Smash Bros. Brawl, Skyrim, Kingdom Hearts, and Dynasty Warriors 4. I'm not going to get into the reasons why they're even mentioned, but yeah, I like them a lot. And the recap. Number 10, Final Fantasy X for the PS2. Number 9, Monsters Ranchers 2 for the PS1. Number 7, Number 8, Soul Calibur 4 for the PS3. Number 7, Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Number 6, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the Xbox. 5, Crash Bandicoot 3 for Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped for PS1. Virtual Fighter 2 for Sega Saturn. Number 3, Pokemon Leaf Green for GBA Game Boy Advance. And number 2, Spyro Year of the Dragon for the PS1. It's number 1. Now this is actually going to surprise some of you guys. and it's probably not going to be on no one's list or even #1 on the list. And you're only going to mention this if you like RPG, if you like really know your RPG homework and know the really good stuff. This was actually made around the same time as Final Fantasy VII, and people say this was just kind of a RPG that was riding off of Final Fantasy VII's success, and honestly, I think people might be right, but even though I never played it before, so. But it's for the PS1, and it's the first real RPG. I mean, Pokemon is an RPG, but it's casual. It's not really with all the storylines, complicated storylines, mindfuckiness, and blah 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 that comes with an RPG, and the dungeons and the drama. And this is also the first game I never completed, and probably the one that inspired me most. And it's Legend of Dragoon for the PS1. Now, for those who you don't hear it, it's about a guy whose name is Dark, who goes on an adventure, and he comes back into his village and finds out that his village is raided. His childhood friend, Shauna, you already can go, this is where this is going, goes on an adventure to find where she was, and you quickly find her, and become friends with this one guy, and the trio go to Levet's kingdom because they're now hunted by another kingdom, another country. It's kind of... And then bunch of cool stuff happens from there. They meet this person called Rose. It's like plot twist and plot twist, and it's like, oh, I was surprised everything that happened. I mean, I cried when people died. I cried when people had a happy ending. And like I said, this game, I never was able to finish it because this game's 4 freaking discs. Come on. I eventually just kind of stopped playing it, but this is one of the things that got me into writing stories. This is one of the things that got me into stories for video games. This is one of the things that drove me to wanting to play and write stories for video games. And I really want to write stories for video games, as some of you might know. And this is one of the games that got me into like the whole entire story aspect of it. I only finished 2 discs and halfway through disc 3, but I saw what had the rest happen on YouTube. Yeah, I know, Sheen, but there's no way for me else to play it since I no longer have the game, and there's no way to get me the game because Disc Replay never has it. But seriously, Legend of Dragoon for the PlayStation 1 is probably... It's not the greatest game of all time. Remember, I'm one of those guys who can put the greatest and my personal favorites. I can make a separate list between what I think is the greatest and one of my personal favorites. This is my personal favorite list. I mean, personally, I give Legend of Dragoon like a 9.2, but I really do love this game. It's my favorite video game of all time. I mean, I could just go on and talk about this game for hours and hours and hours, and one of the reasons why I like it so much is because I love dragons, and you can just turn into half dragon, and I always wanted to turn into like half dragon, have wings, and fly around with a damn sword, and get the girl, and oh, that's cool nonsense. I mean, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but it's an amazing game, and all that cool stuff. Oh, and also thank you everybody for this list, and if you disagreed with some of the things, and I don't care, because this is my personal favorite list. If you guys agree with some of the stuff that's on the list, or kind of surprised with the notable inventions or whatever, please comment. Please tell me what you guys think of this list. And please watch all the other stuff for YouTube Geek Week. I don't know if you're supposed to like contact YouTube and ask them if you could use the slogan Geek Week, but I'm gonna do it anyway. See if I can get in trouble or not. Sorry, YouTube. So thank you everybody. Have a nice day. And and song playing in the background in the beginning was Avenged Sevenfold. Avenged Sevenfold's Hail to the King. It's off the album Hail to the King, which releases sometime this or next month. So yeah, with that, we're gonna close it out from here, and everyone have a nice day and have a nice weekend. Oh, I'm not probably doing pay today, so sorry about that. So yeah, everyone have a nice day.